Hey there everybody, it's Roy from 4-Star Homes, and you know, when Lily and I go and we show you different manufactured homes for sale and we post the lot rents, and it doesn't make a difference what the lot rent is, $700, $800, $900, or even $1,000 a month, I always get hit with the same negative comments from naysayers out there. Typically the comments usually read something like, oh, lot rents really suck, okay, or I would never pay that, or lot rents are a total ripoff, or you could get a mortgage for that amount. Okay, and then of course one of my favorites always blames those greedy park owners. Okay, yeah, they're all greedy, but you know, I'm not saying there's not a bit of truth to that, but I will tell you this: anytime I get negative comments from people out there, that's telling me one of four things about them. Number one, they don't live in Florida and they're comparing the cost of housing here to wherever they're at in the country, which is probably cheaper. Number two, they don't understand the housing market here in Florida at all. Number three, if they think that that's too expensive and they can't pay it, that just tells me they can't afford it. And number four, it's a combination of one, two, or three. Now I know this video is slightly longer than most of the other videos I do, but before leaving any type of comments, I urge you to watch this video all the way through just to understand the point I'm trying to make. However, I'm sure there's still going to be those armchair critics out there. These are the ones that watch the first 2 minutes of the video, then all of a sudden have all the answers and then start leaving negative comments. So if you're one of those individuals who are going to start leaving comments such as, oh, they're going to jack the lot rent up on you anytime, or manufactured homes blow away in hurricanes, or they're going to sell the park out from under you, or any of those other topics, guys, forget it. I'll tell you why. It's because these are topics that have been hashed over dozens and dozens of times. As a matter of fact, we have videos out there covering all of those topics, and you know what? I'm not going to rehash over them again. But you know, if you want to go ahead and leave a comment like that, if you want to go ahead and embarrass yourself in front of the rest of the world, by all means go ahead and do so. So to our loyal viewers out there, if you see any comments posted to this video touching upon the topics I just talked about, that tells you right away that that particular person didn't even bother to watch the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this video. So I want to kind of give you a quick idea of what's going on right now in the housing market or the real estate market, just to show you what the real cost of living here is as far as that's concerned. And then we're going to go ahead and compare that to manufactured homes. And we're going to say that you're going to be looking at manufactured homes in a Highline Park with a lot rent. You ready? $1,000 a month. So let's see how this is going to play out. Now I know some of you who follow Lily and I might be asking why I chose $1,000 per month and not a lower rent amount of say $600 or $700. Well, the good news is that with all the different manufactured home parks available, those lower rent options are available to you. However, I didn't want to sugarcoat this video using lower numbers. I chose $1,000 per month because this number usually draws the most criticism from the armchair critics out there who just don't seem to get it. So even at $1,000 per month, this number is still more affordable than other alternative housing options. Let me show you. Looking to rent a house here on the Treasure Coast, Zillow is stating that the average median rent for these particular homes is $2,800 a month. Now, if you're looking at renting a 2-bedroom apartment, well, Rent.com shows different towns here along the Treasure Coast with rents running between $1,800 and $2,500. So the average for a rental on a 2-bedroom apartment is going to run you about $2,150. And finally, Redfin is showing you that the average home price in this area is $352,000. And on a 30-year mortgage, that's going to equate out to about an $1,800 a month payment. That's not including your taxes and your insurance. Taking a look at this list here, you're going to see that even at $1,000 a month, the lot rent still comes out to be the cheapest alternative out of all the different housing options. So unless you have extremely low living standards, your chances of finding something in Florida for $1,000 a month are going to be extremely difficult to do. So everybody, I want you to take a look at this cute house out in Vero Beach, Florida, listed on Zillow for $359,000. And again, that's probably the average going price for a home in this area. But you know what we want to do is we want to take a look. Let's go back right here. Let's go back to March of 2018. You could see right here where that same house sold for $179,000. $179,000 now on sale for $359,000. But let's go back even further. Let's go back to 2014. This house sold back in November of 2014 for $71,500. So everybody, that's got to give you some sort of an idea of how inflated the home prices are here in Florida. Now, I understand home prices across the country have risen, but down here in Florida, I mean, it's absolutely, truly ridiculous. So if you're an individual who's not quite retired, let's say you're 50 years old and you're considering moving here to Florida, you know what? I would wait for a while just to see what's going to happen, because this trend can't continue. At some point in time, it does have to drop. But, you know, if you're already, say, age 60, you're already retired and you want to move to Florida, I mean, your only option is you have to buy into this inflated market, this absolutely ridiculous inflated market. You know, so again, this is where manufactured homes might offer you a more affordable alternative, even if you use it as a stepping stone. So even if you buy a manufactured home today and say 5 years, the housing market does crash, you'll be able to sell your manufactured home and then take advantage of the lower prices at that particular time. So when you're looking at any type of housing here in Florida, and it doesn't make a difference, there's always going to be some greedy person at the other end that you're going to have to pay. For example, you know, if you buy a manufactured home in a land lease park, well, then obviously you're paying those greedy park owners. If you're renting an apartment, then obviously you're paying that greedy landlord. And if you're getting a mortgage on a piece of real estate, well, then you're going to be paying that greedy banker. Now, you might be looking at me with a little confused look saying, well, how could the banker be greedy? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's put you into the shoes of the retiree looking to move here to Florida. And let's say that you wanted to buy this home out in Vero Beach for $359,000. So let's see how that would break down money-wise. Okay, so if you're looking at putting down 20% or $71,800, and I will tell you for a fact, most people don't put down 20%. They generally put down between 5 and 12%, but we're going to assume that you're one of these people that want to avoid paying mortgage insurance and you put down the 20%. Okay, your principal and your interest on this house is going to be $1,768. But by the time you add in your property taxes, your monthly property taxes, and your monthly homeowner's insurance, you're probably going to be looking at having a payment of around $2,500. All right, so let's go ahead and dive 20 years into the future. At that point in time, you're going to be 80 years old. So let's find out where you're going to stand after 20 years. Okay, so take a look right here at the interest. In 20 years, you would have paid the greedy bank $296,412 just in interest. Now, if you break that down, if you average it out over a monthly type of a payment for 20 years, that comes out to an average of $1,274 a month just in interest payments that you've made to the greedy bankers. Okay, but you know, let's even look at it a little bit further, because in addition to that, you've also paid an average of $450 to the greedy insurance companies, and you've also paid an additional $292 to the greedy tax office. So guys, when you add those up, that comes out to $2,016. Okay, $2,016 out of that total payment that you are making. That's 80% of your payment over 20 years goes to those three greedy institutions. All right, so let's not forget, you're still not done yet, because even after 20 years, you're going to still owe that greedy bank another $155,756. One thing I forgot to mention concerning the mortgage on this particular house is that you're going to need to have an annual income of at least $59,000 to qualify for this mortgage. So my question to you right now, to you retirees out there, how many of you are planning on retiring here with an income of $59,000 or more? As a matter of fact, what I did here is I set up a poll on our YouTube community channel where I'm asking that question. Okay, are you planning on retiring to Florida on an income of $59,000 or more? And, you know, I would appreciate it if you take a moment to answer this question. And I'm going to put the link to this particular page down in the description section. If you would just take a moment just to answer this one question, I would greatly appreciate it. So this is totally anonymous. Your user ID, your personal information, nothing is going to come up, but it would be really nice to know exactly where you guys are standing income-wise when it comes to retirement. So to that one individual that posted a comment on one of my videos and told me that $800 is the equivalent to a mortgage payment. I don't understand how that could be when your insurance payment and your taxes alone could be $600 or $700 a month. You know, but again, on all these naysayers, I always let them know, I always tell them, hey, show us something. Show us something in Florida that you could get for $800 a month. But obviously, like usual, you never hear back from these people. You know, so if you were looking at a park with a $1,000 a month lot rent, obviously you would need to have an annual income of $40,000 or more in order to qualify to live there. Now, if that's not feasible, now you could start working your way down. Now you could start taking a look at parks at $900, $800, $700, or $600. These are parks where you won't need a large income in order to qualify for. So even when the banks tell you, no, you don't qualify for a mortgage, I could tell you, yes, you can qualify to live in any of these parks. Now, you've all heard Lily and I say at the start of all our videos that what we're showing you is an affordable alternative to these high real estate costs here in the state of Florida. So everybody, that $72,000 that you might have been planning on putting down on a piece of property could be used to purchase a manufactured home, and what you're going to end up doing is a one pay and you're going to be done with it. You know, in addition to that, most of the parks will include all of your property taxes in the lot rent, as well as some of the utilities, like for example your water, your sewer, your trash, your cable, your lawn service. So a lot of that would be included. These are bills that you won't have to pay that you'd otherwise have to pay if you were purchasing that $350,000 home. But you know, again, a lot of these parks will offer you amenities that you're not going to find on private properties, such as swimming pools, clubhouses, tennis courts, golf courses. I mean, just about everything that you would want, you know, to ride out your final years here in Florida. So we're going to go back and use our $1,000 example. Now, one thing I want to talk about real quick here is homeowners insurance. I will tell you for a fact that homeowners insurance on a manufactured home is no prize compared to what the rates are in other parts of the country. But I can tell you this, they run about half of what it's going to cost you to insure a single family home or that $350,000 home that we use in our example. So really, when you're looking at a manufactured home, there's only two things that you have to look at. Number one is the lot rent, and number two is the insurance costs. And this is the total amount it's going to cost you a month. And what you could do is you could go ahead and compare that to the $2,500 option on purchasing that $350,000 house. So my question to you is, what looks more appealing? And once again, guys, I just want to remind you that manufactured home alternatives is not a cure-all. I mean, as you can see, there's absolutely no perfect way you're going to retire here to the state of Florida. And again, I'm going to reiterate the fact that housing down here is very, very expensive. And these lot rents that you see posted, this is what it's going to cost you to live in Florida. And again, I'm going to say it like it is, okay? It doesn't matter if you agree with it or don't agree with it, or whether you like it or you don't like it. This is just the way it is. And obviously, if it's something that you can't live with, then definitely Florida is not the place you want to come to. So that's all I want to say on this matter. So I hope you guys found this video to be slightly informative. Again, I just want people to know that lot rents are what they are, okay? It's an affordable alternative, but again, it's not for everybody, and I'm not criticizing anybody, if Florida isn't the place you want to move to. But for me and many like myself, and for many of the clients that I've helped move here to Florida, we find it to be a great way to get a foothold into Florida without having to spend thousands of dollars a month to do so. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to tell you guys to take care. Lily and I will see you again on Sunday with some new listings coming up. So until then, take care. Bye-bye.